Hello guys, my name is Marc from jazzguitarlessons.net and you're watching the Galbraith comping study Wind number 2 from this great book. Of course, Wind number 2 is the third from the last piece, so I'm almost done filming this entire book for you guys. It's a walking bass comping study that I've decided to execute on a nylon string classical. You'll see this is also in my living room upstairs because, you know, brown sofa, that's what it takes. So as usual, I'll let you just watch this. I played fully fingerstyle, I just read the piece, no metronome, and tried to maintain a good tempo. And after the performance, which is quite short, I'll talk about some of the fingerings details you must pay attention to. So I'll see you there. And we're back. I hope you've enjoyed the performance of this walking bass comping study. Of course, this is far from perfect, and I could redo it 12 times and still not be satisfied, and I know that this is probably not why we're on this earth to do takes of videos, so you get the gist of it. Before we get talking about the actual materials on the paper and some of the odd fingerings I want to talk about, I want to do a side discussion. So first, there's a video on the YouTube channel, might be 4 or 5 years old now already, on building a walking bass. And I do this using 1-6-2-5, or kind of a I got rhythm chord progression. Highly recommended if it's your introduction to the topic. Also, my meta discussion now, I want to discuss a few key points in terms of walking bass and jazz and playing this on the guitar. So first thing that I've kind of made peace with is we as guitarists have to realize we'll never be able to play a walking bass that sounds as good as your bassist friends. Especially if you know some good bassists in town and they play upright bass, it's never going to sound the same. The reason is simple. We play guitar, we play chords, we play solos, we do also chord melody, all sorts of things, and we don't specialize in playing bass. And so we have to kind of make peace with it. What we're going to do is, it will be okay. It will be okay to good. It will sort of sound a little bit corny. So this is it's a good effect you can use some of the time. If you're playing duo, say 2 guitars, or if you're accompanying a singer, this is a good thing to do, but don't believe that this is a cure-all, end-all way to play bass lines and it will always work. It's not real bass line. Actually, if you want to get good bass lines, grab this book, and at the end, the last pages, it's all the actual recorded walking bass written in treble clef for us to read. So if you want to play with a friend and another guitarist, you can just learn the actual bass lines that were on the records. Those are great. So that being said, once you realize you're never going to be a bass player, second thing is you have to make sure you emphasize the timing. You need that steady. I'm gonna read it without the chord now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like oh sorry, you didn't see my hands, but I'm just actually playing the bass from that walking bass and chords part. I didn't play any of the chords. Point is, if you play like this and start adding chords on top of it, it will sound great. Problem is, people will typically start cheating on the timing once they start adding harder chords. You might have noticed in the video of my performance, I think maybe once or twice I kind of cheat the tempo because I'm playing difficult chords. So this is a big no-no. So before you go any further, what I'm attempting to say basically is, even if you play the most amazing bass lines and the most beautiful chords, if your time sucks, it's not going to sound good. You need a good beat. Right? If you do... what's that chord again? There's nothing that will save, even if you use fancy chords, it will not save you from bad timing. So I know I'm making a long story from basically nothing, but it's really good advice to always keep thinking of the beat. When you have your non-musician friends talking, why do you like that song? And they'll say, I don't know, there's a nice beat. You know, I like the beat. We're beat machines. That's what we are. So we have to respect the time, unless we're playing rubato. But don't be that musician. I know way too many musicians that practice like this, even professionals. They practice like they can jump around, they can play a little bit and then say, oh, that was wrong, and stop and rewind a little bit and keep going, especially classical musicians. Don't do that, because the way you practice will show in the way you perform. Okay, that's it for my rant on playing good time. Now I want to look at a few of the fingerings. I didn't use a metronome. I didn't even know what tempo I was playing at. But what I did is I played to the place where I know it would be 80% accurate, because the danger in playing walking bass like this, say the first chord, yeah, there's no dots on this guy either. I used to put liquid paper, but I don't. It's just, you guys have to figure out where I am. My problem personally is the buzzing. If you go, you alternate the bass, the tendency will be to relax the pressure on the chord, and this will lead to, see, this kind of slight buzzing. I'm not a dictator when it comes to buzzing. I mean, to me, the chords and whatever you're playing is more important than the sound in a way. I mean, unless it sounds really bad. But there, I have to pay extra attention to go to really anchor the chords note and let the bass be separate, or else my hand, just a reflex will be to let go of the pressure, right? So this is one of the key points. If I had played faster, than this, I would have buzzed more, and I already buzz a little bit too much for my comfort. So this is one of the key things. Make sure you grab. Fingerings are not all amazing. I'll give you a case in point. 1, 2, 3, third line down, we have G. So basic G and then G, A, B, D. Then here, then he says 2, 1, 1. I don't know how he can play that. Personally, I play a diminished chord like this, so that'd be third bar of the third line. It's like, I'm not, or going into the third bar, I'm not super convinced. Other places also fourth line down. So this walking bass, walking chord style, you can see this on the blog, walking chords. There's a whole lesson on this. He suggests playing it like this. So I don't like this, but I see that he's going here. So it's minimizing the movement at this last part. I think in the video I still played it like this though, because my brain is not there yet. So sometimes like, yeah, of course, this is more efficient to play it like he wrote, but I can't bring myself to do it. One place I did bring myself to do it is the last 2 bars of the first page, and I think I kind of mess up. So it goes like this. And this is all our courses online, Comping 101, Comping 102, Drop 2 is the new black. We say use your second finger for the bass. Even on those chords, on those, people will go like this in a minor 7. Go use your second finger on bass, because you liberate your index to do further work this way. But here he says use your third finger bass, because you can go like this and go. So I'm playing third finger bass and not second finger bass. It's hard for me to do it, basically, but I did it for the good of the not efficacy, but it's efficient. It's like for the next course, like, yeah, I know why he did it like that. So basically, take all the fingerings with a grain of salt is what I'm trying to say. One place that you have to be super careful with, fourth line down, second bar, is that probably the hardest part of the entire piece. So the last two ones are anticipated. Chords are E flat, B flat plus, so augmented, and then B flat minor 7 and C7. So this is a really tough spot, so take it really slow. And last note, so starting on the third line down on the second page, you have this E flat 9. A little bit of Joe pass there. So just going. So it's still all the same chord, but we alternate bass. There, that's totally fine, but what he does is he redoes that same Joe pass trick. Last bar of the second to last line, starting with E flat 7, A flat 7, D flat 7. Just be careful, just mind the time switch. He goes and plays it in two, kind of, so I'll play into it. So that's regular 4, F sharp, B9, F minor, there. That's the spot you have to mind, because this is your regular gear for playing quarter notes. So you've been playing quarter notes the whole time, and now you want... It just changes the feel somewhat. So this is the only place I'd be careful with the timing. Well, other than keeping a good time, a good quarter note going throughout the piece. That's your number one mission. But for that part, that's really interesting. Of course, you can watch a video and see how I fumble with my fingerings. I highly recommend you pick up the CD that comes, yes, I said CD, 2018. CD that comes along here. It's Barry's playing it himself and probably doing a way better job than I do. However, there's no video for Barry and there's no lesson accompanying it. So that's it for today's lesson on Barry Galbraith Wind number 2. There's 2 more. So we have rhythm number 2. So once again, that's a rhythm change walking chord style. And we have Like Someone, which is Like Someone in Love. Another walking bass. Like Someone is a more challenging walking bass, so I gotta get to practice this stuff. Of course, if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more regular free jazz guitar lessons. And I will see you soon on the website, jazzguitarlessons.net. Improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher. Take care. Thank you.